flying out, remember, tomorrow.
Welcome to this edition of Hanging Out with Temi. Temi Ajayi is the name. Professor Mimi Watts and Miss Greatness. How are you all doing? Miss Greatness, you're looking more like your mom.
Oh, she had her birthday on Friday.
Oh,
Yay. So,
oh.
yeah, she's probably visiting me in a way, if you say I look like her.
Yeah, I never said that like that. Wow.
Yeah,
Oh, yeah, so continue to rest in perfect peace. Beautiful
thank
woman.
you.
She was a
Thank you.
beautiful.
Thank you very much.
I like her
Yeah.
aura. I like her, personality. Otherwise, are you feeling okay? Are you okay?
Yeah, I worked through the celebration, the birthday celebration, and the spiritual support has absolutely uplifted me. So it's actually very good, the teachings that we receive, what to do during times of grief and mourning, and the seasons that are in these things. Really, we underestimate, how powerful these emotions are.
Mm.
When it really hits, it's good to have your support system. So
Yeah,
I absolutely wind down perfectly yesterday.
fantastic.
I feel much better. I'm in a good space.
Mhm. Thank God for that. That's fantastic to hear.
Yeah.
I'm glad. I mean, the what support system, it's very important. Only last week I was sick for a week and I felt flat. I felt
Mm.
disinterested. I felt I was aching. I was even today. Today is probably the first time since last Monday show that I did a little bit of makeup because my face looks really poor, really bad. So when you say about this emotion, about things happening, I know I can attest to how off you can be, like how people say. And
Mm.
so you need your support base to
That's
support
right.
you. Professor Mimi, she's been fighting for me all through the week. My gosh.
How
I
are
said,
you?
I'm doing good. How are you doing? You look like Mama Africa already.
I try to be, when the weather is warm, I come out in African gear because then I can,
Mm.
I know.
and we are in spring. I am a spring baby. I've got a birthday coming up. And then I just recalled you said Liz looks like her mom. Hello, Liz Greatness. And I hope Mama is resting in peace wherever she is in
Amen.
this place. But
Amen.
she's got a daughter that looks like her, that
I
behaves like
know.
her, that dances like her. And I showed
Uh-huh.
Mama this birthday that I was invited in public in a car park, etc. And I'm like, Tony, wow, that is your carbon copy.
I know.
So when you talk about likeness,
I know. There's no doubt about it. Like she just gives everything about me away. Like I can't hide.
Mhm.
Tony
you can hide,
exposes me.
right?
I can't
When you
hide.
hear people are made in somebody's likeness, woo, that girl is made in your likeness. People say Sherry Rose is like me, even the kids like, Mommy, you are
Yes.
Sherry Roses,
Yeah.
whatever. We
Yeah.
show up, right?
Yeah.
Weeks, considering she lives elsewhere, and we'll
Mm.
dress the same.
Wow.
Wow.
Like that is how spiritual it I don't know whether it's spiritual or whatever,
It's spiritual connection.
Wow.
telepathic. Yeah,
Wow.
it is sometimes for us. But that said, death and grieving, which is today's topic, is one of those challenges that I lost a friend who was a classmate not long ago. I think I mentioned it before. A young woman, thriving mother, had 4 children, then decided to go and do medicine, finished medicine, and then did not practice for 5 years and passed away with cervical cancer. And she
You,
thought,
you
she
were
thought,
there last week, weren't you? Is it the
sorry?
one? Is it the one you visited last week?
No, not that one. But then I've had another cousin as well.
Oh,
A young
shame.
woman just had a mini stroke and she visited me just a few years here in Australia. So there is something that I know we think about death, but there is something that is going on, especially with young people in recent times, in their 40s, in their 50s. Something that you really not think about, especially in the 21st century with all these advances. Hence, we really need to be thinking about this death issue, but we also have to have these discussions with our families. I know it is something that people avoid, but I
I
just
know.
think it's really so having a topic like this today is very thoughtful. I've not had my best week, but at the same time, I still feel
Aww.
like, yeah, no, like seriously, but at the same time, I also feel like, yeah, Mikey came back from school and I was here, and it's like, you don't look like he
Yeah,
knows me, right?
yeah.
Like, are you on? And I'm like, no, I'm just subdued and all of that. And it's really interesting that the kids can sense it very, very, very quickly.
Yeah.
If you're not
Even
100%,
I can sense it.
right? Yeah, but I'm okay.
Even
I'm good. I hope I'm not
I
coming
can
down with
sense it, even though you look beautiful at that.
Yeah.
yeah.
No,
So this is a
please don't
timely
come down with
topic.
anything.
And September is an emotional month for me because I lost my father in September.
Oh,
And my birthday is in September. So there is just a lot. And there's some other key people that I know that have a Septemberians as well, like me. So it is a good time, but maybe that's why I'm a bit emotional as well.
Yeah,
mm,
so I think we talked about this before on the show when things are really good and then things are also happening and you just want to try and balance them up and it just makes you exhausted because really should you be only follow this, should you for how much of this and how much of that do you? So
Yeah.
I can relate to what you're saying, but uh it's been a lot. I sent message to our group the other day. I said, let's pray for Nepal. And I'm thinking, how about Paris? How about America? Japan. Where do we stop? I think we
And,
should just
and
keep.
Congo.
And Congo, I mean, Congo has been very brutal for many, many years.
Yeah.
Really, that is not even relenting. It's really a serious situation back there as well. Even Nigeria, talk of Nigeria, things are happening there as well. So um, we just need to just keep praying and keep encouraging each other because really we need each other. We really need each
yeah.
other. We
Yeah.
need each
But
other.
this is
Otherwise,
the
we
good
get
thing about
overwhelmed.
our support system, right? That we have
Yeah,
each other, but a lot of people don't have this support system. And
it's
this is
true.
when people talk about counseling, they talk about, and I'm like, there are different approaches. That's the Western approach.
Mm,
This is our African approach. People
mm,
lean
Mm,
on each other. They have this conversation. They
mm,
visit each other. They talk to each other, and
that's
mm.
that
right.
is the difference. And this is where we need to use this. How do I put interdisciplinary approaches when we are dealing with this issue? So when it comes to death and dying, what do the African cultures stipulate? And the African cultures, there are thousands of them, but we have generalist ones in terms of cultural structures,
Mm,
regardless of the country, regardless of the language or ethnicity, that I can say have that shared commonality, where there's respect for the dead, where we celebrate people who have reached a certain age, somebody who's past 80, for example, right? If they pass away, they've got mature age children, and most often are not at that age, they are great grandparents or grandparents, to say the least. there is a type of a celebration of life.
Yeah,
Whereas somebody passes away, you
that's what
know,
we say.
yeah,
That's
in
what
their
we say. We
50s.
celebrate life, but that there's an issue around that as well, which, but to our today's topic is not the topic, because if I go into that, that's going to be our topic for today. We those celebration. Don't let me go there. Let me just stop. But let's divert that now to this thing that we're talking about today. Today's topic, that is shown on the screen, about the gift, the debt, and the dilemmas. So the basic, in a nutshell, we're saying somebody is gifted something like a treasure, and the person passes away. And what did I call? Do you have the right to go back to claim for what you gave? Because you gave it to this person and the person passes away. Do you have the right to go back and get it?
I
Go for
think
it.
that's an interesting one because it comes back to family dynamics, right? But also to the individual's own openness. Try to give things to people while you are alive and not that when you die. So, for example, if you're approaching a certain age, right? You've got
Mm,
children, you've got grandchildren, you've got great
mm,
grandchildren. And of course, when you get to a certain age, there are birthdays. But
mm.
then when you reach maybe 85, etc., you have to make certain decisions. For example, do you who is still living and in the next 5 or 15 years, 85 to 100, you may pass away. So that's in the next 5 to 15 years, you may pass away. You make a decision to say there are things that you're going to start returning to the grandchildren, but there are
So
also
this,
things
so
that
this, so this is a gift from like your extended family,
I get it. This
or
is what I'm
or,
saying.
or even a friend.
Let me respond to that. This is what I'm saying. So, for
Mhm.
Okay.
example, you're going to start returning those gifts, right, to maybe your grandchildren and other members of the family.
Get
It
it.
doesn't matter who gifted you that gift. However, then when you pass away, and depending on the clothes, because when you give, you don't expect nothing back. That is supposed to be the norm. You should never expect anything back when you give. So if somebody gifted a gift and then they passed away and that gift is there, that does not belong to you who gave it to them. That belonged to that person because you
Who
gifted them.
received them?
And whoever they had chosen, maybe in their will to then give it to them, that is okay. But if they returned, and that's why I was coming from in terms of they get to a certain age, right? They
Mm,
tend to start giving things back or things that are meaningful to them. They'll identify particular family members to give it to them so that there is a continuity because then that family loom is going to continue. Like my kids, for example, they know I like jewelry. Some of them have marked the rings and the God knows whatever they want, and that's okay, right? So but then they also give me gift. I think it is but fair enough that when I get to a certain age, I should be able to identify. And I don't care who I decide to give that to. But if you are the person who gave that to me, you can't say I gave it to this person, they have to give it back to you. But if there is nothing written in relation to that, then the family can sit down and say, the things that we gave mom, you can take this back and you can take that back. And I saw that in my in-law, their family, which was really interesting. But that is because they are united and they're peaceful amongst themselves. And what they
Mm,
did was the things that they gave the mother and the father, I think they tended to return them to the people after a certain age. But the parents also were not holding on to stuff. They literally tried to make a photo frame. So I've got photos here, for example, of my kid, them and the children that were given back to me. But then what
mm,
they did were in with the home, the stuff in the house, for example, they had dots, right? And they
mm,
said everybody should go through the stuff before it goes to Salvation Army or wherever they were going to gift it. and you've got all these dots. You pick a color, whether you are green, you're orange, you go around, and if nobody already has a dot on that, you put a dot on what you want, right? So
Mm.
that was their system, but that is when there is harmony.
Mm.
Okay, yeah. So what you said was very good. Like if they are giving it to their children before they pass, then whoever gifted it cannot come and
Absolutely.
take it. So, but the question that somebody was asking, what if it's very expensive
It doesn't matter. You gave it to somebody.
and you don't like the children? You only
It's none of
like
your
your
business.
sister.
You gave
Yeah.
it to somebody. That person has made a choice of what they gave it. So, except you tell me that there's a different definition of giving, because when
Yeah.
you give, you let go, and that belongs to that person. You don't give something to somebody and then you keep looking at it. It's like giving you something and then we stand in public and it's like, oh, I'm the one who gifted that person that. That's an insult, right? You don't do that. So you really
That's
want to
very
avoid that
mean. That's
person.
very mean.
Mm. All right. There
Yeah.
was another angle to it,
Yeah.
that someone gave a white woman a gift that jewelry that ordinarily no white person will wear. The children of this family, they're not going to wear it. But that woman, she's very trendy, audacious. She's like African, and she carries, those jewelries like that. She carries it everywhere. So if that one goes, for sure, those jewelries are just going to be trampled by the children. They're going to throw them away because they're never going to use it. They don't know the value. They don't care. Shiru, are you able to ask them to give that back to you?
That is different because
I knew you were
that
going to
is
say
a,
that.
look at the context there.
Was
None of them
painted
is
white.
going to wear it
Yes.
Mm.
because they don't understand the cultural value of it. Because
They don't
sometimes it's
even
not,
like it.
yeah, sometimes it's not even the cost. Yeah, good quality jewelry is great, but
Yeah.
sometimes it's the sentimental value of
Yes.
something, right?
Yes.
So
Yeah.
that may have sentimental value that they don't appreciate the actual value, the monetary value, and they don't appreciate the sentimental value. So I think common sense will say, speak to them and say, hey, if any of you don't want to, because it's theirs, it doesn't belong to you. If
Yes.
any of you doesn't want this, then can I have it? Because it was a gift, it belongs to you people. But if you people don't want it, then I'll
Mm.
be happy to have it back. I give you an example. I was in Ethiopia one of the times with some parliamentarians, were about five of us, right? I was a commissioner at the time, and there were four Victorian parliamentarians, and we traveled together, and we went to different parts of the country as well. And in one part of the country, they honored us with the Ethiopian traditional dress. And when you know the Ethiopian traditional dress, they all look the same, but like every traditional dress, they come in different grades and qualities. They gave us the
Yes.
highest grade from from the Tigray region, because that's a region is cold, it's quite heavy, hand woven cotton, and they call it a Beyonce dress. So when we returned back to Australia, the other two women who were white, they said to me, or Caucasian, they said to me, Mimi, we're never gonna wear this.
Of course.
Can you have it? But we could not, they dress us all up in this clothing. And they said,
Mm.
we're never gonna wear it, but we had to honor it because it was just wonderful that they could really
Yeah.
give us. And they gifted, because when you look at the monetary value of each of those hand-woven dresses, none
Mm.
of them was less than 400 US, 300, US dollars. This was the
Mm.
top quality, or one of the top qualities. So they gave them all to me. And before that, I also have the traditional Ethiopian dresses, some that I have bought and others that have been gifted to me at different spaces, right?
Mhm. Yeah.
So what did I do? I was not going to wear this. So what I identified was one of the young women who had migrated to meet her husband here, and I gifted them to her. My kids were not going, so I gifted them. So it was a gift to me. Then I
And
gifted
then
it.
you give
So for
back.
me, if those people kept those things in their cupboards, or I kept it in my wardrobe, so I've got one left just in case I had something which I now and again I'll wear it if I had to hang out with my Ethiopian friends, etc. I have that, but I really don't think I needed 5, 6 traditional Ethiopian dresses.
Mhm.
Yeah, no. Mm.
Can
Wow.
I say something?
Yes,
I
go
think
ahead.
the scenarios that you guys are painting, and in terms of how to, the approaches and how to deal with it, does really make sense. And I think that's something to take away from a conversation like this. Really, that family harmony is very important,
Mhm.
and it is okay to, because of the relationship that you may have with a particular person, and you go and buy that gift of such high value and quality, and you give it to this person as a what's the word I'm looking for, as proof of the relationship that you have, how much you value your relationship with this person. It's all within, embedded within the quality of the gift.
Correct.
It really speaks of what you mean to each other.
Yes.
And in that process, in that dynamics, I believe, as Prof says, that you are not expecting anything back. You have no
No,
concept of
no.
3 years down the line, 3 months down the line, this
Or
person
30,
is
or
saying,
30
"Yes,
years.
yes." It's not, I believe so. It's not at the back of your mind that once this happens, I'm coming back for it.
Mhm.
However, in the event that it happens,
Mm.
and I'm coming in with the family relationships, really, because this becomes a clash of generosity and expectations.
Yeah.
It's really clashing. So,
Mm.
and if your interest is to safeguard the family relationship, I think the right thing to do is to come out, meet the family, and talk about this,
Yeah.
instead of maybe putting up a high tea somewhere where you're talking about this thing that has happened. But the children or whoever is dealing with the estate is not at loggerheads with you.
Mm.
They are not saying things about you whatsoever, but you are choosing to start to talk at a different table about your good deeds that you've done for this person in this family.
Mm.
And
Wow.
Other people
that you
should talk
want
about
that
your
back.
good deeds, not you.
Yes, also. So I want to come in and say, look, if this thing is, of that much value to you, which I agree, it could be because of the relationship that the two of you had, and you really want it back. Don't set up, an event where you talk about, come to the people.
No, don't give something away and want it back. I just think it
I
is
mean,
outright
Now,
wrong.
I get that, but in the event that you do want, in the
No, but you
event that you
should.
want, make it a conversation
some
with the
people
children.
want
Yeah,
some
make it a
some
conversation with the
I don't want
children.
to be friends with those people.
yeah, but
I mean, I get that, but if it happens, why would you? I mean, it doesn't make it right for you, or it literally just shows who the person is. If
yeah.
you choose to go and sit and talk about this some way without bringing it home, where it's gonna be, the solution would be sought. Oh, alternatively, you probably don't want a solution. You probably after an opportunity to show whatever. But if you want a solution for this issue, and if you are interested in the family harmony, I think, and I would recommend, come indoors. Let's
I
discuss this
understand.
among us.
Yeah, approach some. I give another example, right, Liz?
Mhm,
There is a stick, walking sticks in Africa are a
mm,
status thing. They've got cultural symbolic
Mm-hmm.
the cultural symbols. They've got
Absolutely.
significance in different cultures, and
That's
how
right.
men of a certain age, in particular, they carry the sticks and the
That's right.
carvings, they make a statement, the type of wood. So it's a status type of a symbol, right?
Mm. Yeah.
So I recall when my dad came here, I don't know, it was 2008 or later, I can't remember, but that there was a gift that was gifted to my father-in-law of both of them have blessed memory, but there was a
Mm.
gift that came from him and the family to my father-in-law, which he used all the time as well. My father-in-law used that.
Mm.
But what was interesting was when Pops passed away, the wife was still alive. And Mikey was very young. So this is Mikey's maternal grandfather giving the paternal grandfather a gift from the family, right?
Mm.
What she did was she kept it. Then I think when Mikey turned about 7 years old, she started giving things away because she herself was in her mid 80s or something like that. And
Mm.
then one of the things that she gave away at the time was give
Those
Mikey, did not give the son,
the
gave the
stick.
grandson that stick.
Mm.
And it's really been interesting the type of sentimental, it's got value, but it's a type of a sentimental
That's right.
value because this is something that came from his maternal family in Africa to his English, yeah, from his maternal to his paternal family. And
And
then now
now
it's
to
been
me.
handed over to him. So
Mm.
something like that, what is the financial value that you cannot even talk about monetary value in terms
Mm.
of
Mm-hmm.
that? And if there
Mm.
was something to happen, who gets that? You need to give it to somebody who is going to pass it down. Another thing that I have been gifted was glasses, as in crystal glasses, from her wedding, and a set of dishes from her wedding in
Mm. Wow.
1956.
Mm.
Okay, there are lots of people that could be given this gift, right? But I know that Mimi is gonna look after them and protect them,
And
right?
she's giving it to you before she passed on.
She gave that to me for one of my significant birthdays.
Yes.
So
So.
it was significant. It's not like, oh, this thing costs God knows how, but there's a type of a sentimental
Mm-hmm.
value
Mm.
Mm-hmm.
to that. So it is something that the kids will tell you, oh, you cannot use that because this is what mommy is gonna tell you about it because it's
Yeah.
got a story, it's go older than everybody in the family, etc.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because this was people's wedding gift in 1956. There were all these
Yes.
other people that could be have been
Oh.
given to. So
Yeah.
there are two sets of
So if
very
the
special
children
things.
come now, yeah, so let's bring it back. If the children come back now and want to collect it from you,
They can't.
yeah, so that's what we're saying.
They
However,
can't.
the
And they
question,
don't want to. I don't
they
think
don't
so.
want to
Because they
because
have
they don't
what was
even,
given to them. This
and
was
they don't
given to me.
exactly, they're not greedy. But in this situation, I mean, like you
It
said, this
depends
is
the
when
definition of greedy, though.
generosity meets
Mm.
regret. So this
Yeah.
person, I wonder if you give something to someone and the person passes on, do you respect that person? Do you are you thinking about bringing her back to return your things back to you? I don't know. Because when you give something to somebody, you respect the person. I'm thinking the reason why this sort of thing might happen was if you don't like the children or you don't want to give your treasure. But like Liz said, if I were in that situation, I will be honorable enough.
Mm.
I'm already shameless anyway to come and ask something that somebody, but I'll be shamelessly honorable to talk to the children and say this is expensive, or I've got some attachment to this. I know you're probably not going to wear it. Give some reasons. Maybe you're going to sell it, but I would rather keep it in the or something. And I believe as families that we don't want to ruin our family, they will be reasonable to say, okay, if it's because of the money, and they can say that we don't want to give it because, for example, if it was jewelry like the white woman I said, if it was jewelry, my mother sweated on that jewelry already. I want to have it close to my heart. This is my mother's jewelry.
And her daughters took things like that. Or I think not all her jewelry went to her
Exactly.
daughters and
I
her
can pay
granddaughters.
you. We cannot
What
give
is
you
it?
money. We can give you money to buy something similar, but because my father or whatever put it on their skin, I don't want to
Yeah.
give it back to you. And I don't think my mother or my father will be very pleased even in heaven, seeing that this woman came back. What a shame. So that means when you gave it, there's always a string attached.
Yeah.
Mm.
And that's why
Attached to
you shouldn't be friends with those people who give you things and they want them back.
they
I
want
just don't
them
think it's,
back. I think God
yeah,
knows the reason, like you said, you give, and gift should be is a gift. You dash it
yeah,
out forever.
No
Not,
strings attached.
no
It's
string
gone
attached.
when you keep it. Yeah.
absolutely.
Sometimes I give gift and I forget I was the one that give it. I will see it on you and Mimi, I like that necklace, so beautiful. And then my
Yeah,
friend said, "You gave it to us." I'm like, "Oh, really?" I don't know what I was thinking, and I will laugh because
yeah,
I will then I forget that I actually ever had something like that. But
yeah.
so I don't. I think when you give something, I really think that you should
You should
make
give from the heart.
make
Release,
sure it's
release,
something that you
release,
can give from the heart. And if you don't
release.
have, maybe
Absolutely.
maybe if you don't have something similar, replicate it. Like Prof gave me this jewelry. She had only two left. One other friend wanted it, and she's giving the girl and my friend as well. So, and I said to her, "You have only two." She said, "You might not likely see it on anybody else where she got it from, little boutique in Egypt." But she's still happy to give it to that my friend that she doesn't know as well.
Mm.
So these are the heart of generosity that they are happy to give and they're not going to come back to collect it. So, please, with the question you asked, if the person wanted it back, the person should be shameless and honorably shameless to come and talk to me, and then I'll be able to negotiate with them. Because what if my mother has given, like Mikey, what if my mother has given the grandson? How do you now explain that that thing that grandma gave you is not grandma's? Somebody else gave it to grandma and we want it back. That's
Yeah,
disgusting. We're not going to do
absolutely.
that. We're going to pay you off for whatever your item is, but we're not giving you that item because it belongs to my mother. You've given it to her. Unless my mother wakes up or my father wakes up now and say, "Give it." So maybe we wait till kingdom come, till they wake up and say, "Give it back." It's very disrespectful to the people that passed on for you
Correct.
to
That's
say,
right.
but the scenario that brought this story was the case of that my Caucasian friend that gave this jewelry to this woman, and she knows that the children are not going to wear it, and she's like, "Should I ask? Should I ask back
I
from the kids?"
think that is a
And with
the
Ozzy,
context.
you
You
can
could.
ask. Hmm.
Would
But
should they give it to Salvation Army? I think in that context, because they don't appreciate it, they don't
yes,
understand the value, they don't understand the sentimental anything attached to it.
so
It
it's
is a
different.
situation where she could go nicely and ask, but she should not expect anything. They
Hmm.
have a choice to give it to her.
That's right.
Because
Yep.
first of all, when you gave it to her, what happened if she had gifted it on while alive? Would you
Yes.
have gone back to that person to say, "Hey, I gifted this thing to this person and they've gifted it to you. I want it back"? Not really. So it's a and but for me, my main message here will be people should make certain decisions where common sense also kicks in, right? I think you don't expect anything, but I just gave you that example of that status symbol, stick, etc. It could have gone to any of the other children or any of the other grandchildren. Remember, Mikey is
That's
the
true.
youngest of all the
That's true.
grandchildren of that generation, right?
True.
But there was a decision with nobody's influence, an independent decision to give that to him. And when you look at it
Makes sense.
symbolically,
Hmm.
he is the right person to have it.
It makes sense. Yeah.
It makes sense. But if
Hmm.
it had been given to another person, I don't think it is within his right to go to that person to claim it, to say, "Hey, my maternal family had gifted this hens." No, but
It's
if
just
they
going to
have
cause
a close
trouble.
relationship and it's like,
Hmm.
do you think this might be more symbolic if I have it rather than you? And then because now it belongs to the grandfather of all of them. So they've
Right.
got a right to take whatever also belongs to their grandfather.
That's true. That's
All
true.
right.
We're
This is
gonna.
where common sense must kick in as well when you are alive
It's true.
and in
Thank
your
God.
faculties.
Thank God for the parents that have distributed all the things while they were here. Because if you don't, this is the kind of thing that can
Yeah,
happen.
I think that's
But you
important.
know, yeah, the Bible says you must give generously, you must give willingly, and you must give in love. So if you have given willingly, if you have given, with your heartfelt wishes, then you're never ever going to go back for whatever reason it is. Even if it's precious, precious has a tag to it. It's not like
I don't give
whatever.
anything to somebody if it's not precious. I will not give a gift to somebody that I don't like. That
You
is
obviously, if somebody dies, you like the person, you gave something, and they passed on, you're asking for the thing. I don't think you like that. And I always say to people, if you don't like my children, please don't like me.
yeah,
Okay, if you don't like me, don't like my children, we're fine.
correct,
Thank you very much.
correct.
Or my family as a unit. What sort of love would you have for me and you don't have it for my children? So if I pass on,
Mhm.
you give me something and I gave it to my children, you want to take it back, you're actually not a nice person and you don't love me in the first place. These children are part of me. They are mine. And then
Yeah,
you don't like them. What love do we have together? It's all
yeah,
false, absolutely false. I mean, a lot of people could be in this situation. We say it, I mean, that lady happened, but his own case was easily managed because professor, the way you just diagnose that, very simple because is the children don't value it, they don't know it, all those things. But if you're thinking you gave something to somebody and you wanted it back before they passed on, can you collect your thing back? Just collect it back. Don't let them
that was
pass
never
on.
a gift. That was never a gift then.
It was
It
never a
was
gift in the first place.
Yeah.
And then
it
you
was
start,
just a say. It was
you,
put in a safe somewhere. That's not a
yeah,
gift.
there's a attached to it, like pulling it back. Or were you waiting for the person to pass on first and then you put it back? Anyway, we're going to have to stop. We're 6 minutes over or seven over our schedule. We didn't start on time too. I think we were a little late. But anyway, we're going to have to call it a day. And next week is another day. Prof, I don't know, she's gonna be somewhere in the hair, but we
I
see.
was supposed to tomorrow, but I'm not.
Oh, you're
I'm
not like
here.
me. All right, can we talk after the show? Because even me, I'm here.
I've got somebody at the
Yes.
airport. Okay, let's talk quickly. Then yeah, okay.
Yeah. All right. We're gonna say goodbye. See you next week. Miss Greatness. Have a wonderful one, Prof.
Thank
Ciao.
you.
Everybody.
Bye.